Violent collision kills 2 people outside Tampa International Airport.
An alleged road rage attack rips 3 families apart. Tonight, we're learning about the boys who were killed.
Prosecutors are going to pursue charges against people who are texting while driving.
That's right. This DUI and murder suspect could get life in prison if convicted.
You don't think it can happen to you. It can happen to you within seconds, a blink of an eye. When you take your eyes off the road for just seconds, when you're driving your car, oh, yes, it can happen to you. See, it's not a matter of if, it's a matter of when. When the sands of time will run out within your hourglass. He was a victim of a distracted driver hitting the road while riding his motorcycle going 65 miles per hour. He nearly lost his life. Now on a crusade to help save lives and prevent someone else from becoming a victim, the creator of DistractedDriversBusted.com and now the host of this podcast, it's Howard Drescher.
All right, welcome to another show of DistractedDriversBusted.com, the podcast show. I am your host, Howard Drescher, the creator of DistractedDriversBusted.com, and of course now this podcast show. Okay, man, thank you for being here with me on a Sunday. Wow, on a Sunday afternoon, almost 12 o'clock my time. I'm recording the show obviously a lot later than what I wanted to. Have you ever had one of these days where things just don't go right and you end up getting behind? You wake up early in the morning, you're feeling really good. You have the agenda that you want to do. I had several different things that I wanted to accomplish today. You get behind on one, something doesn't time out the way you want it, and then it just snowballs effects. That's why I was expecting to do my show this morning around 8 a.m. Here it is, almost 5 minutes to 12. I'm recording the show an hour and 5 minutes before it posts today. I am cutting it close today, guys. Thank you for being with me here today on DistractedDriversBusted.com, the podcast show. You can follow me on iTunes, Spotify, iHeartRadio, Google Podcasts. Just type in the keyword DistractedDB. Lots of stuff to go over. Also, we also have what you've noticed if you went to my Distracted Drivers Busted show or TV show YouTube channel, you'll see at least one show that I did about a week ago today was posted there. I know I did another show on the last Wednesday. Somehow, I don't know if I set it up wrong or if there's a restriction with YouTube, but I can only do one show per week. So that we're post. So maybe my podcast shows, I'll try not to put them up there anymore. That way Sundays I can do my normal hit that I want to do 15, 20 minutes. Video, I've been practicing my videos, letting you guys know. I've been practicing them. That's why I'm a little bit late today. I'm kind of organizing my studio. I started late last night, putting things together where I can have a nice, quiet studio area for my videos. And I know I indicated to you by March 6th, I will post one up there. I'm going to beg for your forgiveness. I'm going to hope that you can grant me one more week. Let me be like the IRS from last year. We will put an extension on it. And hopefully you guys will buy in on that. Yeah, instead of, April 15th, let's go to May or June 15th it was. Because I remember I did my taxes really late last year. Anyways, I'm your host, Howard Drescher. Thanks for being with me. Again, iTunes, Spotify, iHeartRadio, and Google Podcasts is where you can get all the shows. And with that rounding the band, it is almost time to find out what was...
Coming up, we're going to have the top story from the previous show.
All right, that's coming up in just a little bit, short time here. But I do got to tell you that there has been more and more deaths by hit and run, DUIs. It's happening out there. It's happening, I think, more and more now that people are starting to come back from the pandemic. People are getting their shots. They feel uncomfortable. Certain areas, at least out here in California, is starting to open up a little bit. People are starting to drive a little bit more. People are starting to speed still, not slow down. Frustrations are building in with people. It's a it's a toxic situation if you put two and two together. You get somebody with road rage, and you got somebody like me driving on the road, doing a normal limit, maybe a little bit over. Yet people come up behind you like I am in the slow lane and I cannot move over any farther to the right unless they go off on a shoulder. If that where you'd like me to drive, I'll do that. Just don't crash into me. It's happening more and more as we go. All right, again, you're listening to DistractedDriversBusted.com, the podcast show. Again, thanks for being with me. Give me another week or two for the videos. I would appreciate that. And I'm going to figure out how I can post these podcasts separately, maybe on my YouTube channel, instead of going through Podbean, sending it over to my YouTube channel. So hopefully I can manage that and make it just a little bit better for me in that realm. All right, when we come back, the top story from the previous show, that's always a big item. Looking forward to that. I don't know what it's going to be. Find out. We'll be back.
You're listening to the DistractedDrivers.com podcast. We'll be right back.
Ladies and gentlemen, we have arrived in Philadelphia. Local time is 3:05 p.m. and the temperature is 67 degrees. At this time, you are now free to use your cellular devices.
You know that feeling when you get to turn your phone on after the plane lands? You can have that feeling every time you drive. Make sure your cell phone is stowed away whenever you are behind the wheel.
Visit StopTextStopWrecks.org. A message brought to you by the National Highway Traffic Safety Administration, Project Yellow Light, and the Ad Council.
Hey, it's me, your cell phone. We need to talk about something serious. I know you love me. I know you like using me wherever you are, but I feel like this isn't working out when you're driving. I know you may think that it's possible to focus both on me and the road, but I just don't feel the same way. I think we should spend time away from each other when you're driving. It's for the best.
Visit StopTextStopWrecks.org. A message brought to you by the National Highway Traffic Safety Administration, Project Yellow Light, and the Ad Council.
Honey, are you ready to go to the party? We're late.
What? Yeah, don't worry. I'll be ready in 5 minutes, babe.
Really? Can you get off the phone? I'm already ready. We're going to be late.
Yeah. Don't worry. I'm almost done.
Let's go. Come on.
Oh, okay, honey. Let's go.
Can you be ready next time? I feel like I'm always ragging on you to get ready for these types of parties.
Yeah.
Isn't the man supposed to be waiting on the lady anyway?
I'm sorry, babe. I know I say this all the time, but I promise. Next time, I really promise next time I'll be ready, and I'll be ready to go by the time you get home.
Gosh.
Let me see who that is. I'm waiting to see if my friend is actually going to be at this party.
No! Leave your phone alone. You know that scared me last time. You nearly hit someone walking in a crosswalk.
What? No, you're crazy. Look, I told you don't tell me what to do. I got this.
Stop the car. Stop it now. I just can't be with someone who doesn't care about my life, not to mention their own.
Babe, wait, come back. This isn't happening, is it?
Now, back to the DistractedDrivers.com podcast.
All right, welcome back to DistractedDriversBusted.com podcast show. Again, I am your host, Howard Drescher, the creator of DistractedDriversBusted.com. And, of course, now this podcast show. You can follow me on Twitter at DistractedDBTV, at DistractedDBTV, and, of course, on Facebook, it's DistractedDB. You can listen to all the archive shows. And not only that, this show as well, iTunes, Spotify, iHeartRadio, and Google Podcast. Just type in the keyword DistractedDB. And, of course, a lot of things have been happening in the world of motorcycles dealing with officers. There was a traffic accident. I don't want to say it's a traffic accident. There was a crash. And I informed you last week of a motorcycle officer from LA Sheriff's Department. 41 years old, husband, father, and a former United States Marine, which I myself am a retired Marine. A fatal crash occurred about 9 p.m. or 9 a.m. While he was in the attempt to stop somebody else, and another car hit and collided with the officer, killing him. And honestly, to tell you the truth, I'm really not followed up on the rest of the story, but this ended up being, for me...
And now it's time for the top story from the previous show.
It ended up being the top story from the previous show, and rightly so. A motorcycle cop getting killed in a traffic crash is always taking top billing, no matter what. This shouldn't have happened. People just got to pay attention. People that are so distracted all the time, and if they don't cause damage to people, they may cause damage to themselves. And this story, again, came from KTLA, Channel 5 here in Los Angeles, and I'll just play some of it for you.
Absolutely, Micah and Cher. He was young, he was dedicated to his family and public safety. That, according to his boss, LA County Sheriff Alex Villanueva. People have been coming by the Lakewood Sheriff Station to drop off flowers and candles and to pay their respects.
It was with great sadness we're here to report the passing of Deputy Sheriff Thomas Albanese.
The Los Angeles County Sheriff, his department, and the wider law enforcement community stretching far beyond county lines are mourning the loss of one of their own. 41-year-old motorcycle deputy Thomas Albanese was killed in the line of duty Thursday morning in Lakewood. Witnesses say at about 9 a.m., the deputy was pursuing a Dodge Charger heading north on Paramount Boulevard. As he approached the intersection with Del Amo Boulevard, a Mercedes-Benz traveling westbound on Del Amo slammed into him, killing him instantly and catapulting his body from the bike. Footage from the sky and ground shows catastrophic damage, indicating the significant force of the impact.
So you got to kind of wonder how fast that was going. How fast was that guy going in order to lift that motorcycle officer off the bike, catapulting him off the bike and onto the ground? That story came from KTLA, and it still kind of dawns on me a little bit. I still wonder how fast that guy was going. And I'm hoping more details will come out about that. I'm hoping that more details will come out, because there is no way that somebody should be slamming into an officer, and it's just so disheartening to finding out that things like this still continue to happen and happen again. Again,
That was the top story from the previous show.
All right, that was the story from the top story from the previous show. And again, anytime a motorcycle officer gets killed in that situation, is always going to take top billing. All right, when we come back, lots to talk about, lots to go over. It's just something that, kind of makes me think about, are we even safe on the road as an innocent bystander lost their life? We'll be back right after this.
You're listening to the DistractedDrivers.com podcast. We'll be right back.
Wake up and text. Text and eat. Text and meet up with a friend you haven't seen in forever.
Hi.
Oh, hey. Text and complain that they're on their phone the whole time. Text and listen to them complain that you're on your phone the whole time. Text and whatever. But when you get behind the wheel, give your phone to a passenger. Put it in the glove box. Just don't text and drive. Visit StopTextsStopWrecks.org. A message from NHTSA and the Ad Council.
Papa, why can't we telegraph while riding a horse?
Son, there ain't no one to blame but Jeffro. He was riding old Betsy the Stallion, tip-tapping away at his telegraph, when blam! Ran right into the side of the saloon.
Well, if Jeffro can't do it, neither should you. Don't text and drive.
Visit StopTextsStopWrecks.org. A message brought to you by the National Highway Traffic Safety Administration, Project Yellow Light, and the Ad Council.
Neil Armstrong waited 6 hours and 39 minutes to step onto the surface of the moon. Jackie Robinson waited 20 months to play his first game with the Brooklyn Dodgers. And even DiCaprio had to wait 22 years to win an Oscar. You can wait until your destination. Don't text and drive.
Visit StopTextsStopWrecks.org. A message brought to you by the National Highway Traffic Safety Administration, Project Yellow Light, and the Ad Council.
Now, back to the DistractedDrivers.com podcast.
All right, welcome back to DistractedDriversBusted.com podcast show. I'm your host, Howard Drescher, the creator of DistractedDriversBusted.com, and of course, now this podcast show. You can follow me on Twitter at DistractedDBTV, at DistractedDBTV, and of course on Facebook, it's DistractedDB. And if you go to my YouTube channel, Distracted Drivers Busted TV show, you can get the archives of these. Also, in probably next week or the week after, I'll be doing videos and posting those up there, and I will remove, or I will still continue to put the podcasts on there. The only problem I have is if I do 2 shows a week, only one gets posted. I guess maybe in my settings I did something wrong, or maybe that's just how YouTube set it up to where I can do just one show a week or post something up there once a week. Again, not totally clear on that. So if somebody has an answer, just DM me. Let me know, am I doing something right or something wrong? I would venture to say I'm probably doing something wrong. I have a tendency to do that a lot. Anyways, you're listening to DistractedDriversBusted.com, the podcast show. I'm your host, again, Howard Drescher. Thanks for listening on this special Sunday afternoon edition. Again, normally I post it at 7 o'clock on Sunday mornings. Today, because I was doing some other things, got behind. I ended up posting it actually recording it about an hour before it gets posted today. So I'm kind of jumping through the hoops here, trying to get things done. But I guess at times those things happen. I woke up with good intentions today, thinking I got this, that to do. And I'm only at this. And I still got that to do. And also another one of this. I think I had 4 of those, 4 of each. So I'm still working on it. I'm a little behind. So I might be done sometime around 8, 9 o'clock tonight, getting everything done that I needed to do. But thanks for being patient with me. Thanks for understanding how I am. I'm one of you. I try not to edit and cut out my shows and make it sound crystal clear, perfect. Because I'm not perfect. Nobody's perfect. The guys that edit their shows down, great for them. Appreciate that. You want to take the time to do that. Me, I don't. I've let you guys know that before in the past. I'm not going to change now. I just feel like I am who I am. And so if I make a mistake, you guys come to learn to expect it. And actually, some of the people listen just to find out what kind of mistakes I make, which I'm guaranteed at least 1, maybe 2 mistakes per show. So I'm good with that. As long as I don't go above the 3, I'm good. All right. This story here comes from KTLA Channel 5 here in Los Angeles. Matter of fact, both stories today come from KTLA Channel 5. A bystander, motorist was killed when a vehicle that was being pursued by authorities crashed into them. And it kind of makes me think, is there any safe place on the road, on the sidewalk, or even in a parking lot? That it just makes me wonder. And again, this story comes from Channel 5 here in Los Angeles, KTLA Channel 5. I appreciate that.
I think we can all agree it's sad when anyone loses their life, Jessica, but it's especially that much worse when it's an innocent bystander. Officials say that is what happened here at the termination of this deadly police pursuit. You can see everything's been cleaned up now, but check out what it looked like earlier in this video. Things actually got very, very dangerous around 10:30 last night here in the Beverly Grove area. The police chase ended on 3rd Street and Fairfax Avenue. The Sheriff's Department says they found a driver who had committed a basic traffic violation, nothing too serious, but for some reason, when they tried to pull that driver over, he sped off and even tried to run over a deputy. The chase only lasted a couple of minutes in this very busy Beverly Grove area. Soon, the fleeing driver hit an innocent victim. The impact caused the suspect's car to burst into flames. Watch this. The victim's car, a small blue sedan, ended up crumpled and wedged between a city bank building and a tree here on the sidewalk. Firefighters and paramedics used their Jaws of Life tool to peel back the crushed passenger side door on the victim's car, all in an effort to get to him and try to save him. Unfortunately, officials say that man's injuries were just too severe, and he was pronounced dead here on the scene. The suspect, who ran from officers, was also injured in the crash. Paramedics treated him on the scene, and he was taken to the hospital and is in custody this morning, according to officials. Back out here live, the name, ages, and identities of the victim who died and the suspect have not yet been released yet by the LA County Sheriff's Department. There are still more updates to the story to come, and we'll bring them to you when we get them. Live in Beverly Grove, I'm Steve Koosh, KTLA 5. Back to you for now.
All right, again, thanks to KTLA Channel 5 here in Los Angeles. I appreciate them for allowing me to use the sound. Look, there's a lot of good reporters over at KTLA. They all do great work. And when it comes time to dealing with these kinds of stories, I mean, they kind of nail it. I mean, they let you know exactly what's going on, when, who, what, why, where, and how. Again, appreciate KTLA allowing me to use the sound. Innocent bystander loses their life. Again, there's no way anybody should be losing their life just like this. I've always talked about how I think high-speed chases go. Sometimes they're necessary. Sometimes you got to back off and let other agencies kind of catch up. But now this one here, somebody lost their life. And unfortunately, it's a sad thing. And it just never seems to end. It never, ever really seems to end. All right, when we come back, oh my gosh. Another lady lost her life when a pickup truck collides with a stopped car. We'll be back right after this.
You're listening to the DistractedDrivers.com podcast. We'll be right back.
Ladies and gentlemen, we have arrived in Philadelphia. Local time is 3:05 p.m. and the temperature is 67 degrees. At this time, you are now free to use your cellular devices.
You know that feeling when you get to turn your phone on after the plane lands? You can have that feeling every time you drive. Make sure your cell phone is stowed away whenever you are behind the wheel.
Visit StopTextStopWrecks.org. A message brought to you by the National Highway Traffic Safety Administration, Project Yellow Light, and the Ad Council.
Wake up and text. Text and eat. Text and catch the bus. Text and miss your stop. Wait. Text and be late to work.
Sorry, I'm late.
Text and work. Text and pretend to work. Text and act surprised when someone calls you out for not working.
Who, me?
Text and meet up with a friend you haven't seen in forever.
Hi.
Oh, hey.
Text and complain that they're on their phone the whole time. Text and listen to them complain that you're on your phone the whole time. Text and whatever. But when you get behind the wheel, give your phone to a passenger. Put it in the glove box. Just don't text and drive. Visit StopTextsStopWrecks.org. A public service announcement brought to you by the National Highway Traffic Safety Administration and the Ad Council.
Now, back to the DistractedDrivers.com podcast.
All right, welcome back. Welcome back to DistractedDriversBusted.com podcast show. I am your host, Howard Drescher, the creator of DistractedDriversBusted.com, and of course, now this podcast show. You can follow me on Twitter at DistractedDBTV, at DistractedDBTV, and of course on Facebook, it's DistractedDB. And you can get the shows on iTunes, Spotify, iHeartRadio, and Google Podcast. Type in the keyword DistractedDB, and I appreciate, and I can hear some of you guys repeating that exactly what I'm saying. I know people are sitting back going, log into this and that, and then da 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 da. I know some of you guys are. Is log into iTunes, Spotify, iHeartRadio, and Google Podcasts. I know some of you guys are doing that. I know somebody that does that, and because they told me, so which is kind of funny. But that's just the love for the show and love of me. Maybe I don't know. I appreciate it. I don't mind those jokes. I don't mind it. I get a lot of DMs. I get a lot of strange DMs every now and then. But most of them, they people mean well. Okay, so anyways, here's a story from KTLA Channel 5. When a pickup truck collides into a stopped vehicle in South LA, killing the woman inside. And quite honestly, I kind of wonder why these things keep happening. And then you look at what time it happened. Anybody want to take a guess? You're probably not close. All right, here's a story from KTLA Channel 5 here in Los Angeles. And I appreciate you guys listening. And I appreciate them for allowing me to use the sound.
An innocent person killed here in South LA early this morning. Her body removed from the scene just a few minutes ago, and the investigation well underway here about 3 hours after the crash happened. That there is the black pickup truck you're seeing that initially crashed into that stopped car, killing that woman and then creating this chain reaction. You can see the wreckage here on South Broadway and, of course, the debris in the middle of the road there. LAPD saying it all happened before 1 a.m. on South Broadway at 43rd here in South LA. They say that pickup truck was traveling northbound on Broadway when it slammed into a car that was stopped at the traffic light on 43rd, killing the 43-year-old woman that was in that car. After the initial impact, the truck crashed into several other cars parked along Broadway. Thankfully, police saying no one was inside those cars. This morning, police say the man driving the pickup truck was taken to the hospital, and he is now in critical condition. Investigators now saying he was possibly driving under the influence. They will have more details on this crash and on the investigation later this morning. For now, they will remain at the scene for a few more hours. Broadway is blocked off between 42nd and 43rd, so you'll want to avoid this area during your morning commute. For now, reporting live here in South LA, I'm Carlos Herrera, KTLA 5 News. I'll send it back over to you guys.
All right, again, thanks to KTLA Channel 5 here in Los Angeles for allowing me to use the sound. I appreciate that, and I appreciate everything that they do. But again, did you guys happen to notice the time? 12:50 a.m. when this report of a multi-collision report came in at the intersection of Broadway and the 43rd Street. Hey, look, I'm not going to tell you what time you need to go out and what time you need to be back home and all that stuff like this. I'm just asking if you could be safe. If you could take just a few minutes and end up being safe and letting people know where you're at. And if you feel that you're in an area or in a condition where you're not feeling safe or you've had so much to drink that you honestly contact a cab, an Uber driver, a Lyft driver, call a friend, call anyone you want. Just get home safe. You don't need to go through what these people have been going through each and every week. And yet, every week, I have stories, just like you heard today from KTLA Channel 5. Somebody's dying, somebody was killed, somebody was hospitalized, and they don't have to be. Remember, I don't want to die today, do you? Put your cell phone in your glove box. Don't use it. You get a text, ignore it until you get to your destination. Until next week, be safe.